Well, we're very excited about our expansion plans. In the short term, we've been spending a lot on our infrastructure to modify and to expand and to upgrade our existing industrial parks and business parks. We're also expanding the actual industrial zones in Ras Al Khaimah, in Al Hamra, and in Al Ghair industrial parks, and in Khulal industrial park. So that's all in line with the growth that we're seeing with the many international companies and manufacturers, industrial and traders coming to set up and operate from Ras Al Khaimah to do their manufacturing and their industries and in many different sectors as well. We're on a growth trajectory. We're building as we speak right now. We're building a new warehouse complex that's about 40,000 square meters of new warehouse logistics and e-commerce space for light industrial units. We're building a new blue collar accommodation because more and more workers are coming into the existing factories and the new businesses that are setting up. We're building new office space, and we're actually going to build a new co-working and business center similar to the one you're in right now. Now, us as an economic zone, obviously the hospitality sector is quite large. So we've been working with our colleagues, and we've been working with the WIN to look at what their logistics needs are going to be. They're setting up their companies, where they're going to house their products or their warehousing for F&B, for their furniture, for everything that they can't store on site. We've been working with the WIN also to make sure that the proper and the WIN and its construction teams to make sure that they have the proper logistics while they're building the actual facility in terms of the construction, where do they put their material, where do the contractors stay, where do they register their companies. So there's direct relationship, and all the support services that we can provide, we're providing from RAKEZ in terms of support that it needs to develop such a hospitality package, but at the same time to keep it sustainable, growing and operating very well. Any economic zone, any logistics zone, any business park or industrial park relies heavily on all types of logistics, whether it's road transport, seaports, or airports. So obviously having those logistic hubs and services, air freight, sea freight, or even trucking is very crucial for the manufacturers, traders, and businesses that set up and operate out of an economic zone. And that's one of the main value propositions that you need for anybody to establish a hub like RAKEZ and to be able to set up and then be able to manufacture and distribute globally and import and export your product all over the world. Let's not forget that also the UAE is a major logistics hub, which is second to none in the world. So our clients, our customers, our manufacturers, our traders have endless choices of where they can ship and export and import their products from. Having a closer proximity to the industrial park is always an added plus. So definitely we're very excited about the expansions. We're very excited about what RAK Airport provides us today, and as it grows, what it can provide us. And we work very closely with them, and our clients work very closely with them to make sure that the services and the products are suitable for the type of clientele that are based here. The UAE is all about choices and all about customer sentiment, and it's all about being the right place for many different types of businesses and their corporate structures. Free zones have a value proposition, and they cater to a particular type of persona, a particular type of structure, a particular type of client who wants to import, export, and use the UAE or use Ras Al Khaimah as per se as a hub. To access the rest of the world and also to distribute products into the market. The 100% ownership regulation that came up in law is really it's a true testament of how the UAE develops new regulations to cater to the many different kinds of businesses that come to this country. There are many businesses that want to be on the mainland, and many businesses have expanded their services and their manufacturing or their distribution of products to the mainland and prefer to have a corporate structure that's on the mainland. So those 100% ownership was just an added plus in the value proposition that the UAE offers to investors from all over the world. It's been great. It's given a big diversity. It's actually given a push for both mainland and free zone companies because there are more choices. Therefore, FDI attraction becomes easier. There's more options to offer to investors from all over the world that predominantly wanted to come here and had limited choices in the past. Today, they're being able to cater to a wider audience and a different type of investor and be able to cater to all of these different types of structures that these investors need. And it's really proven in the last 2 years since this has come out, we've seen a growth. RAKEZ by itself has been growing. Last year alone, we brought 4,200 companies. We see a bigger growth this year, and the regulations and if you look at most of the emirate statistics, there has been growth in nearly every emirate that we can mention. We've been really excited. We've been working with the governments. We've been doing seminars. We've been having in this place workshops for all of our clients, educating them on the different laws as they came up and the different updates that do come up until this has been implemented. Our customers, we've been very bullish about it, and we've been very making sure that our clients are very well educated. We've sent out circulars. We communicate with the ministries. We've communicated the communications that have come out from the ministries and the tax authorities have been distributed to our clients. We've had workshops by tax experts, and we do send out circulars updating our customers about the tax regime, how it's applied on mainland, how it's applied on free zones, and how it particularly applies to them. We've been working with the ministries in terms of ensuring that our customers all are going to file their taxes in the proper way that is supposed to be filed on a yearly basis. So it's been really exciting, and I think that's really what our customers look for, is to continuously update them and communicate with them what are the regulations so nothing comes as a surprise. And obviously free zones, as you mentioned, there are regulations in place that are very clear in saying where free zones are treated in a particular manner when it comes to the tax regime versus the tax regime that applies to 100% companies that are on the mainland. Obviously, there's a threshold that applies to both, and the main difference between a free zone and a non-free zone company is that anyone above that particular threshold, if they're dealing on mainland, all of their income is taxed because they're in mainland and that's where their actual trade happens. While a main difference for free zone companies is that if they're importing and exporting in and out of the country, however, their products do not go into the mainland, then there's no corporate tax on these companies in the mainland, but they still have to keep their audited financial statements, their books, because that's a requirement from the Federal Tax Authority. However, if they do trade, and if a product goes into the mainland and they're conducting trade with mainland, then that revenue is taxable, and that's what's going to be taxed for companies that are inside a designated area that's known as a free zone.